Hey guys, Freedom Uninterrupted here. So, tonight I want to talk about something that hits kind of home. Um, and the reason it hits kind of home, so I play six instruments. I play guitar, banjo, violin, a little bit of harmonica, a little bit of piano, and a little bit of bass. Is that six? That might be seven. I wasn't counting. Anyway, so, music is a very big part of my life as a hobby, and it's definitely a creative outlet. And so tonight I want to talk about why women's taste in music is shit. So we've all observed in interacting with females that women tend to prefer to listen to pop music. They tend to prefer to listen to what's popular, um, or what is consumable for the masses. I've yet to meet a woman that tells me she really likes Stevie Ray Vaughan, or she really likes, Buddy Guy or BB King, or God forbid Lead Belly. I love Lead Belly. I really love Lead Belly. Um, anyway, so I have some experiential data. Is that the word experiential? I have some experiential data. Based upon the women that I've dated, they've all been into shitty pop music. Even if I was able to convert some, or at least interest some of them, I've dated two music majors, and I've been able to, get them to get a little bit of a taste for some, not shitty pop music. Anyway, so I did a little research, and I skimmed this blog. I skimmed this blog by Paul Lemire off of musicmachinery.com, and basically he just confirmed. I didn't even look at his sources. He just has confirmed that if we take a look at the top genres skewed to female listeners, we see that there's pop, dance pop, contemporary hit radio, top 40, urban contemporary R&B, hot adult contemporary, Latin pop, teen pop, neo soul, Latin pop rock, contemporary country. And contemporary country being your Luke Bryant's, your is it Chase Rice or whatever? The infusion of hip hop and country that just makes Johnny Cash roll over in his grave, just makes Hank Williams Sr. roll over in his grave. Willie Nelson is probably too high to care, but And then he talks about how genres that are most skewed to male listeners: rock, hip hop, house, album rock, rap, pop rap, indie rock, funk rock, gangster rap, neo house, classical rock, and new metal. So all of these being a little bit more musically based and actually requiring some level of talent and not a fucking computer. So without further ado, I want to dive into the lyrics of the top 5 songs on America's top 40 tracks, according to Ryan Seacrest, and I want to break it down as to why women like top 40 music and why they like what's popular. And the story here, the overall is that it plays right into their nature, and by dissecting these lyrics, we can very easily see why that's the case. So let's take a look at the top 40 right now, according to Ryan Seacrest. So this week we have DJ Snake with "Let Me Love You," the Chainsmokers, "Closer" featuring Halsey, The Weeknd Starboy featuring Daft Punk, Ariana Grande "Side to Side" featuring Nicki Minaj, and Nash "I Hate You, I Love You" featuring Olivia O'Brien. So let's go ahead and dive into the lyrics of this DJ Snake song. I haven't listened to any of these. I do know "Closer" from I heard it at the gym the other day. It's actually kind of catchy. Lyrically, it makes me angry, but I do kind of like the beat. But we'll dive into that later. So, "Let Me Love You." I'm going to skip past the first part here, and I really want to focus on the last. I want to focus on the last two lines of the first verse here, and then the chorus. So, "Driving the edge of a knife, never gonna let you go, never let me down. Don't you give up, I won't give up. Let me love you, let me love you. Don't you give up, I won't give up. Let me love you, oh baby, baby." So, show of hands. Well, I guess we can't do show of hands because this is YouTube. So let's break it down. So it's pretty obvious. Well, this one is a little bit less obvious as to why this appeals to female nature and why women would like, prefer music like this. So this is a guy that's in pursuit of a woman that does not feel the same way about him. She has him exactly where she wants him. This is what a lot of us in the MGTOW community refer to as beta male orbiters. So this guy is around, or maybe not even beta male orbiter per se. Let's go with beta male provider, because I think that their relationship is probably two-way. Um, However, and for the record, DJ Snake is a guy, in case we haven't elaborated on that. Um, so basically, this is a guy that is in pursuit of her, and she's, maybe she's playing hard to get, or maybe she's thinking about walking away, but the reality is she knows she's got him in her back pocket, and so this is feeding right into her wheelhouse in that she is being told through this music that, if she just exists, that she can have men in her back pocket, such as DJ Snake. And that she's all of this value, and she's so worthy and so amazing and so wonderful that he's never going to give up and he's always going to love her and all of these things. And the reality of the situation is that she's never going to love him, number one. Number two, if she decides to give him what her version of love is, which, as we all know, is not actually the equivalent love that men have for women, it's going to be down the road when she's blown through her other options and he is the last one left. So, next on our list is Closer by the Chainsmokers. And again, catchy beat. I like the beat here. But let's break it down. So, and because I have heard the song, the first verse is sung by, I'm assuming, a member of the Chainsmokers. The second verse is sung by the Halsey woman. So basically, let's break it down. Starting at the looks like the bridge here. So I know it breaks your heart. Moved to the city in a broke down car, and 4 years no calls. Now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar, and I can't stop. No, I can't stop. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. But that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting older. So, this appeals to the women because, number one, this is a guy, again, that she hasn't seen in a while, that has obviously not stopped thinking about her in 4 years. So I can't really break down this first part too much. Oh, well, I guess I can. So, hey, I was doing just fine before I met you. I drink too much, and that's an issue, but I'm okay. Basically, here he's implying that since we fast forwarded and read about the 4 years, basically, the insinuation, my understanding of the insinuation here is that he's developed a drinking problem since she left him 4 years ago, or since they've split 4 years ago, which, again, is exactly what women want to hear. They want to hear that we're not doing well without them. The women of our past want to know that at the end of the day, if they walk back into our lives today, that we would drop everything and come back to them. That's exactly what they want. And so that is why this first part is so, sticks out so much, because it's validation to her that he is still head over heels in love with her. Now, again, here we are. Now you're looking pretty. Now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar. He's giving up compliments. He's giving her the value that she probably doesn't deserve. And basically, the premise of the song appears to be somewhat of a. It sounds like they've reunited in the song after 4 years, and he's still head over heels with her. And to be honest, it sounds like she just happened to run into him at a hotel, and decided to fuck him. So, what else is new? A woman riding a cock carousel. And again, we're talking about moving to the city in a broke down car. Well, we all know women can't handle their money. Basically, talking about having a Land Rover, a Range Rover that she can't afford, which, again, we know women are bad with their money. They spend their money poorly, buying things that they don't need, such as tattoos or Land Rovers. And I find some humor in this. She steals her mattress from her roommate. Isn't this just female behavior? And I know, guys, if you're out there listening, we all have had a woman have a similar situation like this, or we've met a woman that has had a scenario like this with a roommate that they hated for whatever reason, and did some manipulative, petty bullshit like this, such as stealing a mattress. Oh, Christ. And of course, we ain't ever getting older. Well, women are perpetually children. So, this is all playing right into their wheelhouse. And so, um, I want to let's jump out of the next one. Let's dive into Starboy by the Weekend here. And Starboy is pretty blatantly obvious as to why women like this or women get excited hearing this. I don't think they like it. I think it excites them. So I'm going to try to read this in my most ghetto voice I can. So I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. What is a P1? Priority one? Milli.2 just to hurt you, so million.2. All red lamb just to tease you, so he's got a red Lamborghini. None of these toys on lease 2. Made your whole year in a week 2. Main bitch out your league 2. Side bitch out your league 2. So basically, what the Weeknd's doing here is he is flaunting his money. $1.2 million. He's telling her that he's got money. He's telling her he's got a Lamborghini that's paid off. And so basically what's happening here is he's talking about having all of these things that, basically he's presenting himself as this provider and as this, this financier, if you will. And then basically he's rubbing it in their face that, main bitch out your league 2, side bitch out your league 2, which is basically a challenge to them. You know, if a guy like you or anybody out here listening, were to say this to a woman, were to say, oh, well, my main bitch is out of your league and my side bitch is out of your league, well, unless we have the money, unless we have 1.2 in the bank, 1.2 million in the bank and a red Lamborghini, I don't think most women could give a shit. I don't think women are competitive by nature. They'll just move on to a better suitor. They'll just move on to a better provider. But in this scenario, because so much is at stake, women get excited by hearing this, and basically they're taking it as a challenge of, oh, well, maybe if I fuck you good enough, or if I suck your cock good enough, you'll send some of that money my way, and maybe you'll buy me a Lamborghini. So pretty self-explanatory, and this is most of rap music, and I think this is why a lot of women like rap to begin with, because it's all about the money, and it's all about the lifestyle, and basically women are attracted to the lifestyle. And I'd like to think that they're attracted to this kind of music because they think that some way, somehow, that they can get a piece of that lifestyle by listening to that music. So let's go on to the next one, Side to Side by Ariana Grande. So a key thing to observe here is look at the lyrical difference. So the first, is it the first 2 or the first 3 we've looked at? Where are we at on this list? Is this number 3? I think this is number 3. Anyway, all the other artists that we've looked at have been actually this is number 4. This is number 4 on our countdown. The first 3 have all been primarily male artists, although Closer by the Chainsmokers did have a feature a female lead, which was her part was discussing riding the cock carousel. So I think a lot of pop music listeners in the female variety are cock carousel riders, or formerly cock carousel riders. So Ariana Grande is an idol to a lot of women, and the lyrics to this song break down exactly the unique difference here in male and female artists. And because in this song, and I'm about to break it down, but Ariana Grande is talking about riding the cock carousel. And you notice the difference. So in our other songs, our first 2 songs were about a man wanting a woman that didn't reciprocate, and basically she had him in his back pocket, and he would do anything to have her back or to have her fully. So that, women want that. And then in the second one, going more into the hip hop genre, talking about money and talking about having money, and we're not necessarily uh, giving women validation. We are giving them excitement in that there's resources. So now here we are with Ariana Grande, our perfect little cock carousel riding slut. So I'm talking. So I'm gonna break it down here. I'm gonna ignore the part here with Nicki Minaj. She sounds like a fucking seagull, and I don't really care. Um, So I'm talking to you. I see you standing over there with your body. Feel like I want to rock with your body, and we don't got to think about nothing. I'm coming at you because I know you got a bad reputation. Doesn't matter because you give me temptation, and we don't got to think about nothing. These friends talking way too much. Say I should give up. Can't hear them no because I've been here all night. I've been here all day, and boy, you got me walking side to side. So basically, this is Ariana Grande taking charge and seeing a man that she wants to ride the cock carousel with, or to be another fixture on her cock carousel. And basically, the premise is she wants to fuck him. That's really, it's not very subtle. She wants to fuck him. Um, and based upon the looks of Ariana Grande, she's probably not going to have a hard time. She's an attractive girl. She's an attractive girl. I wouldn't fuck her. She's probably taken more poundings than Omaha Beach on D-Day, but she's attractive, so I can see where she would get, sex like she wants. And as we know, women are not women are not necessarily starved for sex. If you're moderately attractive in a woman, you could get some dick for every day of the week. Just hop on Tinder. Anyway, so let's go to our last track here. Our last track being "I Hate You, I Love You" by Nash. Now this is one. So have you guys noticed a trend yet? This is going to play into the trend. So I'm just going to read through the lyrics here real quick, and I apologize if they're a little small. I wanted to grab all of them just because it was very, very blatant, and I wanted to go. I wanted to show you guys how blatant this was, and I think this is why this is only number 5 on the countdown and not number 1, because it is so blatant, and I think women subconsciously might realize that this could be giving away some of their secrets. But, okay, so, feeling used, but I'm still missing you, and I can't see the end of this. Just want to feel your kiss against my lips, and now all this time is passing by, but I still can't seem to tell you why it hurts me every time I see you. Realize how much I need you. I hate you, I love you. I hate you, I love you. Don't want to, but I can't put nobody else above you. Hate you, I love you. Hate you, I want you. You want her, you need her, and I'll never be her. So Nash is actually, so this could be an interesting term. So I just assumed that Nash was a man. Oh, yep, called it. He's a very effeminate man, but he is a man. I was concerned there, so I didn't read some of these lyrics before this video, and so I'm confused by this. You want her, you need her, and I'll never be her. I think Nash is implying that he got dumped for a woman. Is this what he's talking? Is this what we're talking about? Let's continue. I miss you when I can't sleep, or right after coffee, or right when I can't eat. I miss you in my front seat. Still got sand in my sweaters from nights we don't remember. Do you miss me like I miss you? Fucked around, got attached to you. Friends can break your heart too, and I'll always be tired, but never of you. If I, and then I didn't want to grab the whole lyrics. Okay, so I'm still a little confused about this. You want her, you need her. It sounds to me like Nash, this poor bastard, got dumped for another woman. It sounds like it sounds like his girl decided to stop riding the cock carousel and start carpet munching. But the point being, though, and this feeds right into the trend that I was talking about. So this one should be obvious to everybody listening, is that this is a guy who is still in love with her, still obsessing over her. I'm assuming these wounds are relatively fresh. We should get Nash into MGTOW. I think Nash. I think Nash. I think we can. I think right now is the time to strike and to bring Nash into MGTOW. But this is a guy that's still in love with her and would still do anything for her. And so, of course, women love this shit because it's all about having guys in their back pocket and having guys obsessing over them and basically putting it out there that basically exacerbating and showing the power that women have over men. That's exactly what has happened in 3 of the 5 songs here. Now, so lyrically, you can see why women like this kind of music. It's very obvious, and I think it's very obvious why guys like us, MGTOW guys, we hate this kind of shit for the most part. If you're out there and you like top 40, I understand. Like I said, Closer by the Chainsmokers. I actually recommend if you can get an instrumental version of it. It's actually got kind of a cool beat. I kind of like the beat. I don't like the lyrics though. I hate the lyrics of all this shit. But so if you're out there listening, and you're MGTOW, I understand if you like the lyrics or whatever. I'm not knocking on anybody's musical taste. It takes all kinds. But what I am saying here is that there's definitely been a trend, and so we've broken it down and we've seen why women like this music lyrically. Now, I want to take a somewhat of a meaner stance, um, and talk about how women are basically big babies. And so, for those of you listening that have kids or have been around children, you know the kind of music that they make for children has a lot of sounds. Children like sounds. They like basically samples. They like things that have varying sounds and a lot of weird sounds because it's stimulating to them. And so, all of this top 40 music has a lot of samples and a lot of out there, dings and dongs and, an underlying beat, but then there's a lot of, just different sound. Very blatant sound too. It's not something that you really have to listen to hear it. You hear it even if you're passively listening to this music. And so I think that, well, I don't think, so women listen to this kind of music because uh, they're children. They're children. They have minds of children and bodies, in some cases, of porn stars. And so they're listening to this kind of music, guys, uh, not because it's deep, not because it interests them, but because it's like a carousel for a child. It's like playing peekaboo with a child. It's like baby Einsteins, or it's like Barney, It's a simple beat with some samples laid on top of it, and that's why these women are listening to this kind of music. They're listening to it because it is the uh, it is the most that they can process musically. And obviously, this is not true of all women. I'm seeing the majority. There are some, I'm sure there's no waltz out there that appreciate Stevie Ray Vaughan or appreciate um, artists like Johnny Cash or, and I'm not saying that Johnny Cash was a musical genius. A lot of his music is simple, um, but can appreciate the intricacies of somebody like Leadbelly or somebody like, uh, and again, Leadbelly was not that intricate, but he was a pioneer, and he did a lot. He did the first of a lot of things. He was a grandfather to the blues, and can appreciate guys like Buddy Guy and BB King and Muddy Waters, that can really appreciate it. And I'm saying a lot of blues, and uh, I want to end on this note. So I've talked about how top 40 in pop music lyrically feeds into women's desires and feeds into women's nature, and it validates their nature and makes them feel okay for being that way. Um, from a musical standpoint, from a sound standpoint, uh, it's infantile is the word here. It's infantile. Uh, it's no better than Barney or BB Einstein's or anything like that. It's very soothing to them. It's simple. It's nothing less than what they can process. So, as I said, women in music, uh, generally they listen to shitty music. Generally, they listen to music that is easy for them to handle. And so, anyway, you know, that's it for me. Uh, as always, if you liked it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Or if you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Uh, if you did like it, also go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm doing about a video a night, sometimes more, sometimes less. And I'm going to go ahead and plug the podcast here. So for those of you that don't know, my online media presence started as a podcast, and I'm doing about an episode a week. So go ahead and check that out as well. That is Freedom Uninterrupted Podcast on the SoundCloud. And if you use the Twitter, if you tweet, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at FRUN Podcast. That's FRUN Podcast. I don't tweet too much, but I am trying to tweet a little more. So go ahead and check that out as well. And as always, stay safe out there, brothers.